This is how, I'll tell you now, this is how technology works. Make sure the hand gesture is not yellow. This is how technology works. Okay, whenever we have been giving sermons, I've been giving sermons that God has put on my heart to be shared with family and other people on the internet and whatnot. Technology tends to like to take over and say, you can't say that. There are certain key phrases I will let you know right now that I will try my best not to say because that software will shut it down. So if I refer to anything that happened between the time frame of 2020 and 2023, that's all I will use, because if I use the actual word, it will be shut down. And yet we live in a country where we have freedom of speech. Anyways, so we see the wilderness experience for Israel, the children of Israel, with the temptation there. We see the wilderness experience for Christ for the 40 days of him being tempted by the devil. Every place where Israel failed in that temptation, Jesus succeeded. Everywhere Israel failed, Jesus succeeds. So when this list is given to Daniel, Daniel would have in his mind already knowledge that we can't do this, but Messiah the Prince is coming in 69 weeks. That was a wonderful thing that was given. What else do we see? We learned last week that with Daniel, when he was troubled by this vision, he did not say, Lord, I'm troubled, and go find a corner and cry in it. Daniel, when he was troubled by the vision and was searching for meaning of the vision, he went back to the Bible, to the writings of the prophet Jeremiah, and began to do a Bible study. And not only did he just do a Bible study, but he also was praying. And Daniel besought the one from whom the vision originated. He went to the Lord and said, Lord, I don't understand this. And as he's praying, in the middle of his prayer, God sends Gabriel to interrupt him, to begin to give him the interpretation of the vision. And as I stated earlier, Gabriel tells Daniel the interpretation. You have 70 weeks to complete this. Don't worry, Messiah is coming in 69 weeks. And Messiah is going to fulfill these 7 tasks. Now, the beautiful thing about this prophecy is called the longest prophecy in biblical history, but it gives us a starting point. As I was showing last week, is that we had Cyrus giving a decree that they could rebuild the temple when he freed Israel after the 70 years of their captivity. And like the prophecy said in Daniel chapter 9, it will be built in troublous times. Well, trouble was created by those that kind of stayed behind. And they wrote a letter back to the Persian government when Darius became king and said, these people cause problems and they're building without permission. Well, Darius, being a good ruler of Persia, went back and studied and looked through all the decrees of his predecessor and said, oh no, it's been given. They've been given permission to do this. So that was the second decree that was given. But both of those decrees were only concerning the temple of Jerusalem. It wasn't until Artaxerxes in 457 BC gives a decree to rebuild and restore Jerusalem. That was the key. Build and restore Jerusalem, just like in the prophecy here in Daniel chapter 9. That's where the start of this prophecy begins for the 2300 days. I'm doing a recap, and this is why we're going to split this into multiple sessions. I'm not going to complete the whole thing this week. I will let you know. It will be, next week will be the conclusion of it, and next week, Willie will be concluding. Not Dad. So, we know 457 BC. That is the starting point. Start down here. That is the starting point of the prophecy, 457 BC, and we know it's going to go 2,300 days. Or when we read through the Bible, when we're studying the prophecy, you can read